What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're talking about a brand new VOD release, We Broke Up. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this movie were if you already saw it or if you were planning on seeing it, and make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my channel out there. And if you're new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But let's jump right into it and let's talk about We Broke Up. This stars Aya Cash and William Jackson Harper as longtime couple Laurie and Doug, who break up just days before Laurie's little sister Bee's wedding. In order to not disrupt the fun, they decide to pretend they're still together until the weekend's over. This is written and directed by Jeff Rosenberg, having been filmed right before the pandemic began, and it was released on VOD over this weekend. And I had this fairly high on my radar since I first heard it was in production. While the trailer looked like this could have gone either way, what had me holding out hope for this were specifically our two leads, as I've grown to become a big fan of both William Jackson Harper and especially Aya Cash. And as I expected, it's their performances that carried much of this film for me. Not that I think the story's bad, and we'll get more onto that in a minute, but I think I enjoyed this film more and forgave some issues I had with it due to how they both totally crushed their respective roles. Had it been two different actors, I probably would have felt a little differently, but I thought their chemistry was rock solid and I'd love to see them in another project together. They were both very funny, bringing about their usual wit, and they also both brought out the pain that these two characters are experiencing, as their lives are upended at the worst possible time. And that's where I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. The setup feels like something very much out of a sitcom, and while you're expecting this to be nothing but a series of uninspired, cheap, lazy gags where things get really awkward because they have to put on this big show in front of everyone, that's not what takes up the majority of this film's runtime. Now, do we get a couple of those moments? Yeah, of course. It's bound to happen, like a scene where they have to force showing affection when they really don't want to, but a lot of the humor stems from dialogue-driven sequences that rely on the actor's comedic timing, and I got some good laughs out of them. Though honestly, I wouldn't even call this film a full-blown comedy. I mean, it can be pretty funny, but it also balances things out with a much heavier dramatic side, showing how these two are coping with this breakup having just happened only days prior to the wedding. Because Laurie and Doug were together for 10 years, with the breakup occurring after Doug spontaneously proposed to Laurie in the opening scene. And it's not easy to just get over someone after dedicating 10 years of your life to them. So the film doesn't showcase them going from one extreme to the next, where they go from completely happy to absolutely hating each other throughout the weekend. Yes, we see them try to set boundaries with one another, and things get awkward here and there, and we do see them attempt to pick up the pieces, like when they flirt with other people during the wedding, but they're also within each other's line of sight at almost all times during the whole weekend. And you can see that they also don't want things to be over, even though they have to reconcile, as we learn, that they both want different things in life. While a few of these scenarios can feel familiar, I think this film overall shows more of the intricacies of human nature, and how not everything's this binary choice of you go from loving someone one day to outright hating their guts the next. People are much more complicated than that, and I thought that was expressed wonderfully here. And I find this to be way more realistic than a lot of other romantic comedies, to be quite honest. Though I do have my criticisms, as I didn't find this to be near perfect or anything, because despite what we got, we definitely could have explored so much more. The film's only 80 minutes, and as I said, it was filmed right before the pandemic began, but I'm not aware if they had to cut anything short or work around some things due to time constraints, but there were definitely some areas where I would have liked them to expand upon. As I said, the film opens with Laurie and Doug happy together as we see them ordering food, and I thought it was perfectly conveyed how happy they were, which allowed us to connect with them instantly right before Doug proposes, setting everything in motion. But then it cuts, and after one or two very brief moments, we then see them traveling to the wedding within the next 5 minutes or so. But what the film does at a later point is flash back to his proposal and expands on the immediate aftermath of that moment. And I think we could have even gotten some more flashbacks thrown in there, but occurring beforehand, showing even more just how happy these two were, considering there's 10 years worth of history to explore. Especially since what this film does show us is a contrast between Laurie and Doug's relationship to Laurie's sister Bea, played by Sarah Bolger, and her fiancé Jason, played by Tony Cavallero. Both of whom I also thought gave great performances here. We see how Laurie and Doug were known to always have everything together, while Bea is very impulsive and spontaneous, and their mom was always concerned for her while never worrying about Laurie. And now it looks like the tables are quickly beginning to turn as the weekend goes along. And I thought that was an excellent dynamic to explore. And we could have even seen what the family was like in a flashback sequence where Laurie had everything together while Bee didn't. I think that could have shown a great contrast with the present day sequences. Or they could have gone down another route, because as I said, we do see both Laurie and Doug flirt with other people at the wedding, which does lead to a lot of tension between them. But those respective storylines get dropped after only like a scene or two, and I think we could have dragged out that tension among everyone a bit more by expanding on these stories, and I think it could have been done without ruining the film's pacing or causing the characters to become too mean to one another. So this film left me wanting more, but in a good way, because I also felt the way everything circles back around, we do get a pretty nice ending. I didn't find it unsatisfying, and again, it reflects something closer to reality than your typical rom-com. I think there just could have been more in the middle. Though I think because of that, more than likely, a lot of people are going to walk away from this just saying, it was fine, or it was good but needed more. And again, I do agree that we should have gotten more, but I still found what we got to be thoroughly engaging, and I found myself really enjoying this. And while it's partially due to its solid writing, again, I think I was able to forgive a lot of the film's faults due to just how great our two leads were. I had a really good time with We Broke Up. It's a film that definitely could have done more, but I still think what we got was thoroughly engaging. While it's set up with a very sitcom-like plot, it chooses to mostly take a different route, showing the more complicated side to human nature that I think will make things a lot more relatable. While I would have liked to have seen this expand upon a number of things, I still thought it was great, which is partially due to the screenplay's subversion of expectations, though it's mainly due to the performances of Aya Cash and William Jackson Harper, who I would absolutely love to see in another project together. I think no matter what, you'll at least have a pretty good time with this one, so give it a shot if you can. We Broke Up gets an 8 out of 10. So let me know, did you see We Broke Up, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like the performances, and what's a good romantic comedy that you've seen lately? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.